Yo, what's going on, boys? Just got done with some chest, back, and cardio today. I want to talk about something I was thinking about earlier, and that is the importance of doing everything at once. So, working on everything simultaneously. And I think that we have in our minds that we cannot multitask, and that maybe multitask is a myth, and that we shouldn't multitask. We should just focus on one thing. And there's a lot of truth in just focusing on one thing. However, in the world that we live in today, it's going to be pretty tough if you don't focus on multiple things at once and try to get things done fast and efficiently. And what I mean by that is you can't just focus on the gym. You can't just focus on studying. You can't just focus on the next career path or, your relationship with your wife or your kids. You can't just focus in on just one thing because other things are going to suffer. Right? And so I'm not saying to spread yourself thin. That's definitely not the way to go either. But there needs to be a way where we can focus in on everything and everything just a little bit. Okay, so fill that schedule up. There shouldn't be a lot of time for you to just be idle and to be doing nothing. To me, that is the biggest problem that I see with young men and, well, honestly, everybody, but young men especially. And so if we can start to work on a lot of things at once, it's going to help us. For example, I'm trying to get my biannual flight review done. Okay, well, I was working on my personal training stuff, but now I'm supposed to switch gears to flying again and then continue to work on stuff for work, have a social life, and do chores around the house and all these other things. And you're sitting there wondering, when can I ever just relax? You guys ever have that feeling where it's like, when can I just chill? Oh, and the gym on top of it, of course. So not only do you work 10-hour days, but then the gym takes 2 hours. The travel time there and back, taking a shower, eating, meal prepping, tracking your food, planning ahead. All these different little things, you wouldn't think about it, but they all add up. And over time, it becomes something that's huge. It's like, where did my 24-hour day go? And then you gotta sleep, right? I recommend that you guys get at least 6 hours of sleep, if not 8. Now, you don't want to oversleep because then you'll feel like garbage as well. But for me, I usually get about 6 to 8 hours of sleep a day. And that depends on the day, right? So if it's a work day, it's usually less. So, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But, so you got to sleep, you got to work, you got to go to the gym. What is left? Well, for me, I always find that I have about 2 hours of free time after work, after I've done everything, to dedicate to whatever else that is, whether that's doing laundry, whether that's trying to study or whatnot. It's trying to do the aviation stuff with, trying to learn nutrition. So that's the next course, is the nutrition course that I'm working on. It's just a lot. And, before when I did my pilot's license, I was like, hey, you know what? It'd be cool just to get it. And I did, during my engineering career, during college. And so I did both of those at the same time. But it was impossible to do that, engineering and the gym training all at the same time. So during that time of those 5 years, I didn't even really go to the gym. I went like maybe once a week to run on the track. That was literally it. I literally thought the weight room wasn't for me. Like, I don't belong there. But I also knew in the deep down, in my heart and my soul, that I just don't have the time for this right now. And if I did do it, I would end up committing too much time, because guess what? I ended up loving the gym, and it would end up taking all my time away. And so I wouldn't have passed my classes, I would have failed out, and it just would have been a disaster. So I'm actually really glad I didn't go. But those are the kind of things you gotta weigh. Like, you wanna do all these different things, but how am I gonna be able to do that? So it's all about time management. And I had time to go on dates and stuff like that. So there's time to have a social life. There's time to have fun with your friends. But that is one of the traps in college, is that there's all these different programs you can join, all these groups. And, you walk around and it's like, wow, this is a lot. And I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of stuff interested me, but I just didn't have time to dedicate just to one thing. And so I always consider myself a jack of all trades, somebody who is, pretty good at a lot of different things, but not an expert in just one thing. And honestly, I think that's the way you need to be. Because if you can know a little bit about everything, That's all you need, because then you can be relatable to all types of people. If you just know about one thing and that's all you know, like I play the trumpet, I play the piano, I like music and stuff. So it's like, how can a guy who likes engineering, like the military, like music, plays music, you know, wants to fly airplanes, like all these different things, how could you possibly do that? And so again, I just encourage you to have an open mind and to find what you enjoy doing. You know, if you don't enjoy doing it, why are you doing it? Honestly, I wouldn't want to waste my time. And so yeah, so right now I'm trying to work on the nutrition part of the course. The next part is the strength training, all while trying to do this possible interview coming up in the next month or two, which may or may not happen. I don't know. I'm not in control of the government and how they operate, but is what it is. And then also trying to get this airplane stuff done. But oh yeah, back to this. When I was doing my pilot's license, I thought, hey, you know what? I think it'd be cool to do that. Turned out to be a great addition to my resume because I actually needed it to get the job that I have right now. You know, if I hadn't done it, I really wouldn't be where I'm at today. And so I give a lot of credit to that. But, you know, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, should I just go fly 3-4 hours a month just for fun? And I'm just sitting there like, the way my mind thinks now is like, that's just a big waste of money and time, unless I'm going for a specific goal. So you should always have a goal written down. Don't just do it because you want to toss money in the trash. I really recommend that you have a goal that you want to accomplish. So for me, that would be getting a complex rating or another rating of some sort. And so if I'm not going to commit to getting another rating, there's no point of doing it. You're right? So that's kind of what I tell myself, and this is the kind of analytical thinking you need to do in your life too. I don't know what that is for you. Maybe you want to go back to school and do something. I mean, I know a 40-year-old guy here at the gym who he tells me, oh, I'm thinking about going back to school because he really doesn't have a career. 40 years old, doesn't have any kids, isn't married, you know, lives with his brother or whatever, and just thinking about going back to school because he never even got a degree. And you don't need a degree to be successful by any means. But what he tells me that he does, I can tell that's not fulfilling. That's not what he wants to do forever. And so, what is that for you? But don't just live every day the same. Have a little bit of urgency, right? There's always somebody with a big loud car. Have a little bit of urgency to get to where it is you want to be, but really think it out, okay? Really plan it out. Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't plan it out, it's just not going to end well at all. Because failure to plan is failing to plan, right? What is it? Because failing to plan is going, I don't know what it is. Failure to plan, failing to plan is planning to fail. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. And then yesterday I had a massive headache, which was really frustrating. So I actually ended up getting a foam roller because I'm tired of my back hurting so much. And that's one thing I was learning, is that when you roll out your back, especially right after a workout, you're going to be able to loosen it up. And it's going to hurt for a second, but that's okay because you're breaking up all that lactic acid. And so sure, it's going to hurt for a second, but then it's going to feel really good. And you're going to be able to sleep better at night, because what I find is that I'm really tense on my back and my neck. It's really tense on my back and my neck. And so it's frustrating because it's really tight. And so when you're trying to sleep, you can't even have a good night's sleep because you're all tense. But I found last night that I was not as tense, and I woke up better and actually had a pretty good night's sleep. So if you're feeling tense on your back, I'd recommend a foam roller or go get a massage. Now, I've never had a professional massage. I kind of want to do that just to try it out. But yeah, for now, we're going to do the foam rolling. It seems to be working. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I got to go home. I've been making some protein pancakes. It's actually been pretty good. And that's another thing. It's like sometimes, you know, you want to try new foods and to eat better. But, you know, Some people will say, oh, well, it tastes different. Ew, it doesn't taste like I want my sugar. It, blah, blah, blah. Look, your body eventually adapts on to what it is you're doing. So if you're gonna have a sugar-free soda, for example, your body isn't even gonna know the difference after a little bit, okay? So just keep up with it. Keep eating the stuff that's correct, okay, good foods. And I don't even crave cookies or anything, like donuts. It's just disgusting. My stomach doesn't like it. You know, I crave like Gala apples, for example. Those are really good, nice and sweet. Some sort of fruit, you know, and you just feel better in general. You feel better because you know you're doing something right, but you also feel good because you know that, hey, my stomach isn't hurting. Hey, I'm looking leaner in the gym. Okay, so keep that in mind. So in a world full of fakeness and deception, keep dominating your realities, boys.